Hey guys, it's Becky with Design Bundles, and if you can't tell from my little package here, what I'm here to talk to you about today is unboxing your Cameo 4. Now, I won't lie, I resisted for a little while, but I mean, you just got to get on board with it because these Silhouette Cameos are really rocking it. And all the new features that are unlocked in the Cameo 4 are really, really amazing. So don't forget, you can connect Bluetooth. Okay, so if you've been holding out, you can connect Bluetooth. You have the new rotary blade. You have a new knife blade. Okay, there's just so many really great features, including a faster cut speed. Okay, super exciting. You have the built-in roll feeder. I mean, I just feel like I could go on, and I have not even used it yet. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it, and let's get started exploring the new Silhouette Cameo 4. So literally, I told you I have not unboxed this yet. Like, it came in the mail. I instantly fell in love with it because it's like, hey, welcome to the family, right? I literally have the Cameo 1, 2, 3, now the 4. I have the Curio, I have the Alta, I have the Mint. I mean, I don't even know why I was holding off getting the Cameo 4, but I'm really excited now that it's here. So let's open this bad boy up. Now, you guys know that I'm a really big fan of packaging and opening packaging, right? Well, if you don't know that about me, then learn it because, you know, and I think that goes for any business. So write this down if you haven't already. Packaging is important, whether you're a small business or a big business. So here we are. Now, of course, this is the website that you need to go download Silhouette Studio. Now, pause, because I need to do a plug right here. We have a really great tutorial on an introduction to Silhouette Studio. So I don't have to do that again for you today because I know that you guys are going to check it out. And of course, you know, I'm a huge fan of Silhouette Studio. I really love it. It's a very robust software. So it can be intimidating. Don't let it intimidate you because we're here for you on this journey. So, but you do need to go to the Silhouette America website and get your new machine set up and get the software downloaded. But I promise it is super easy. You're not even going to realize how easy it is, okay? Now, first and foremost, very important, you have all of your cords, all right? Right here, power cord. Other side. Equally important, these are all of your blade adapters. So the Silhouette Cameo 4, especially if you're already a Cameo user, they came out with a new tool fitting. And what that means is that there's a whole new set of tools available for the Cameo 4. Super great, right? But what do you do with all the blades that you already have? Or like, I'm really a big fan of the ratchet blade and I prefer to use that over the auto blade. What that means is that you have these tool adapters that come with the Silhouette Cameo 4. So make sure you keep track of these. You definitely want these because this is going to be your hookup for using the blades that fit the older style machines. Cutting mat, okay. Obviously very important. Now, you know, with the Silhouette, you can cut without the cutting mat, which is a really big selling point for me. I really love that I can feed my vinyl in there and just go to town. But still important to have a mat because there's some projects you can't do that with, right? And last but not least, oh, let's see if I can get this guy out of here. I love that they're packaged up really good, and you don't want to destroy this packaging. So I always keep my packaging for not just new machines. Okay, I mean, obviously I keep it for new machines, but I keep it because when I travel with my machines, I can repackage them in this packaging and take it with me and know that it's going to be safe and secure. So I keep the box, I keep the padding, and you know, you need it for your warranty anyway. But even after that year is up, or you know, say you don't care about the warranty, which I don't know why you wouldn't, you need to care about the warranty, but just in case, keep it. You know, you never know when you're going to need to pack it back up, and this packaging obviously is made for your Cameo. Okay, so I think it's because I'm always in love with everything new anyway, but I'm really in love with the new shape. I actually didn't feel that way about the Cameo 3. I wasn't crazy about the shape of the Cameo 3, but I'm digging the new geometric style of the 4. Now, you know, it's always wrapped in this nice little wrap, and your machine is covered with this blue tape. That's okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. This is what holds the machine together to help it during shipping and that sort of thing, okay? We want to keep it safe and sound. But it's kind of like playing a game of hide and seek. You're going to want to come in here and make sure that you find all the tape, okay? I don't know about this model, but I know in older models, they even had little pieces of styrofoam inside to also help with the packaging. All right, so now this packaging you don't have to keep. You can toss this away. Okay, now I know there's a little bit on the back here. I'm not gonna whip it around for you guys just yet. But just know, you have a piece of tape back there, right? Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, there we go. That's the new, here, let me do that for you guys again. This is the new slide back lid. Oh, and see, this is some of what I was telling you with the packaging. Make sure that you find all the little pieces that are tucked away in there. And just know that Silhouette America did this for us. So thank you, Silhouette America, for the awesome packaging. I appreciate it. I love it when my machine comes all safe and sound. Oh, I see another little piece in here. Sorry if I'm boring you guys. I just really, you don't know how many beginner classes I taught and then come to find out there was a piece of styrofoam stuck in here. It's also important for print and cut because you want to make sure that nothing happens to your optical lens under there. So I definitely see at least one more piece of, I'm going to call it like a foam core. Okay, there we go. So hopefully you guys are following along and you're finding all these little hidden gems too. It should be standard on the machines. All the machines are usually packaged the same way. And you can move this blade housing. You can move it back and forth. Make sure you get everything. Go ahead and explore. Now this is your drawer. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Let's get down to the fun stuff, okay? Okay. Here we go. Do we need a minute of silence for unboxing our new machine? All right, so pull the lid back. Let's talk about what we have. This is your blade housing. Now you need to get comfortable with it. It moves on its own, obviously, after you plug it in. But sometimes if you get a jam or you need to just take a look around, or say your machine starts cutting a little weird, it's not cutting in the right spot, all right, you can, as long as the machine is turned off, you can move this housing. Now don't do it while it's turned on, but while it's turned off, you can move this housing, okay? Now when I talk about the blade housing, this is where your blades are going to go. Now it's very important that your blade is installed correctly, and it's not super hard, but sometimes there will be a tiny gap whenever you're going to slide your blade in, and especially with the auto blade, that's important because if there's some sort of gap, and I know this was really true with the Cameo 3s, this happens a lot, but if there's a gap, then the auto blade cannot adjust correctly. Okay, so even if you think, oh, it's cutting too deep, well, that could still be caused by the auto blade not adjusting correctly. All right, now you do have two going on here, right? Now you need to know that in order to use one or two, one is going to be your default, and then two will be a separate feature that you will need to look for and work on in Silhouette Studio. So just because you have to, just know that there's still a component in the software that you have to go in. It's not like you have to buy it or unlock it or anything, but you need to know where it is to be able to use the second tool, okay? No big deal, but just throwing it out there so I didn't lose you guys talking about the second tool, okay? Now let's talk about our blades, because I have two things to tell you about these. Now the blades, like I said, they come with adapters for the older style machines, which is really great. And that is what these guys are. So before you lose them, because you will lose them, at least I will lose them, okay?
Okay, so before we go any farther, let's go ahead and make note of what each tool adapter is for. So the ratchet blade, fabric blade, deep cut blade, premium blade, craft blade, sketch pens, and third-party tools all have an adapter for your Cameo 4. Now just save this, take a screenshot, make note of it somewhere. That way you'll have it handy when you're ready to adapt those blades.
It doesn't matter where you put them as long as you remember where you put them. So for now, if you're more comfortable, you can go ahead and slide them back in the baggie and put them back in the box. Or if you already have some crafty storage, like a lot, if you're coming from another machine or maybe a Cameo 3, then you know, it will make more sense for you to put these in with your other crafty storage so that you don't lose them. But regardless, just don't lose them, because I don't know about you guys, this is one of those things that I'm going to put away and never ever remember where it's at. So take advice from Becky. Don't be like Becky. Put these somewhere safe. Same thing with this little guy. All right, this is a useful guy, and you can use him for adjusting and cleaning your blade. Okay, make sure he's somewhere safe. And this is the new Cameo 4 Auto Blade. Now, there are some new features. There's this little sensor on the back, okay? And it should slide right in. You'll need to pull, there's a pull tab, pull it towards you. I'm pushing it away from me because I'm looking at you guys, but you're gonna pull it towards you and slide it down into place. Now, what I do, I place one finger underneath and I give it a push with my thumb before I push it back in. Now that is because, remember how we were talking about the little gap? That's what I found the most surefire way to make sure that I'm not going to get a gap. All right, so in theory, this is how easy setting up your machine is. Now you can explore all the other neat little features that this has. Like for example, here is the built-in roll feeder, okay? So if you cut a lot of vinyl without your cutting mat, this is going to be your roll feeder. Ta-da! Okay, I'll let you explore that on your own. Maybe we'll do a separate video on using the roll feeder, okay? There we go. And there's also a big notable difference is a new style of vinyl crosscutter on the back. So if you do not know what your crosscutter is yet, hey, that's another thing to learn, right? But don't worry, neither the roll feeder nor the crosscutter are anything that you have to learn today. But now all you want to do is hook this up to your machine, download the software. Remember, I already told you the video that you want to go watch to get used to it, right? Get all the tips and tricks that you can, make some notes, and we're going to connect this to our computer and do our very first cut. And just to let you in on a little secret, I'm gonna cut a decal for my machine. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have never in my life put a decal on my Cameo because I just haven't been able to let myself mess with all the goodness that's going on already. So we're gonna do that today. I'm gonna do that for you guys, and it'll be our first cut and of course the unboxing. So, all right, let's get started.
Okay, so I cheated just a little bit. Since this is going to be a decal on my machine, I wanted it to be something fun. And this is a file I purchased from designbundles.net. So I'll be sure to give you guys that link. But don't forget, you don't have to do something like this, especially if this is your very first decal, then definitely don't stress about that. You can go into the store or the library and just pick something really simple. I also measured my machine, and I know that I want my decal to be no larger than 4 inches. So I'm actually going to do 3.75. And I'm going to position it up here in the corner. Okay, that's because I'm going to be cutting with a scrap of vinyl, and I already know where it needs to be positioned. So I'm going to click over to the send panel. Now, can I just say, well, let me turn on my cut lines. Can I just say that I am super duper happy at the prospect of cutting Bluetooth. Bluetooth never worked correctly on my Cameo 3, and I don't say that to be a negative Nancy. I wasn't used to Bluetooth anyway, so it didn't matter. But, so whenever I came to cut with my new Cameo 4, I looked up Bluetooth on my computer, connected Bluetooth to my Cameo, and I'm pretty excited that it is actually showing up down here. This is how you can tell the difference. this is going to be for your cord. So if you've connected your Cameo with a cord, which is probably what I recommend if this is your very first experience with a Cameo. But then here is your Bluetooth Cameo 4. So I already have my Cameo plugged in and ready to go. And now it's connecting Bluetooth and it's going to communicate this file over for me. All right, so what I'm going to do is select my material type. Now I'm actually cutting a glitter adhesive vinyl, but I know from experience that I need to choose vinyl glossy, which as long as you're cutting glossy, matte, or this glitter adhesive vinyl, then this should be absolutely fine for you. I do love that Silhouette gives us all these presets, so it really takes the work out of it. Now it's going to put my blade on a 1. The Cameo 4 will adjust that automatically for me because I have the auto blade in. So I'm not going to mess with that, but just know that if you needed to adjust your settings, that's where this would be. And here's the tool too. Remember we talked about that briefly before? We're not going to mess with it today because we don't need it, but just know that if for some reason you were wanting to cut with tool 2, that's where you would find the information. So it's also always good to perform a test cut. So I'm going to switch over to a front view camera. That way you guys can witness our very first cut with Cameo 4. And I'll be right back with you.
Yay, super exciting. Okay, so this is the adhesive vinyl that I was telling you about. And I was prepared to use my mat, but I decided, go big or go home. I've already moved my roller. Now these rollers are super easy. You only move the roller if you're cutting without a mat. Please remember that. And when I'm done cutting without a mat, I need to move it back. But you simply push in the gray button and it moves. Okay, so you would unlock your bar, push in the button, move it one direction or the other, and you can feel when it locks into place, and you close your bar back. So I will have to say, out of all the Cameos, that is by far the easiest. So this is my scrap of adhesive vinyl I was telling you about. I'm going to feed it in this way. Now what I want you to notice is I am making sure that it lines up under each roller. That is very important, otherwise you're not going to get a successful cut. Okay, so each roller, I will hold it with one hand, and I hit that already by mistake, but you hit the load button here. All right, now I am going to do my test cut. Test cuts are very important, guys. I really can't stress that enough. Let me get my tools out. So now I can unload. And the whole goal of the test cut is to be able to weed out the little piece, okay? So that was good, that was done. Okay, load the vinyl back in, and now just gonna hit send. So this is gonna take care of business right here. And I'm gonna tell you what else I have. This is my transfer tape. Now, I'm just going to cut a piece off because I don't need this whole thing. So there we go. I have my squeegee. Okay, very important. And what you saw me with earlier, these are my fine tip weeding tweezers. This is just what I prefer, but there are a lot of different weeding tools out there. So, fingers crossed that I'm a fan of this auto blade. I'm really excited about that. Like I said, I resisted at first, but I'm really hoping that the Cameo 4 is going to sway me both to Bluetooth and auto blade. So Bluetooth is working great right now, and now we're going to see about the auto blade. Definitely much faster than the prior Cameo models, so that's really important too. Sometimes you're just ready to get those projects done, right? Ta-da! Okay, so what I'm going to do is just trim off the area of the vinyl where my design cut. Okay, because I want you guys to be able to see me with this process. Now, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm going to weed right here with you. You can see where my test cut was. what I'm doing with the weeding tweezers is I pierced underneath the edge. Okay, so I should be able to weed my vinyl easily, which so far so good. Now, I picked a little bit more complicated design than what I recommended for you guys, so just keep that in mind. I don't want you to jump in too far if you have not worked with vinyl or a Cameo before. So far, I'm very happy with the auto blade. I think it has cut really well. Okay, so there we go. Overall, still not complicated at all. Vinyl is really great for beginners. It's a pretty inexpensive material, and you know, a lot of people will say start with cardstock. I don't recommend cardstock. Cardstock is only a little bit cheaper in the long run, and it can be more temperamental, especially since we like the cheap cardstock, right? I don't want to learn on the expensive cardstock. Oh, one last piece. Okay, so, oh, I lied. There we go. I know that took a little bit. It was a little bit longer than hopefully what yours took, but I am very happy with it. Can you see how good that came out? Okay, so then what we're going to do is we are going to use our transfer tape. Now this is transfer tape that comes with a backing. Okay, so you just peel the backing off. And you're going to cover your entire design. And this is where your squeegee comes into play. Okay, now I know it's tempting, but what you actually want to do is start from the back. So don't start from the front, start from the back. And just be careful and make sure that all your pieces stick to your transfer tape. And it's easier if you roll the transfer tape. So, like I said, if you choose an easier file, then it will be even easier than what you're seeing here. So, now just to decide where do I want to put it, guys? I was thinking over here. Okay. My very first Silhouette Cameo decal. It says craft your stress away, and hopefully that will be the theme for the rest of the year. Am I right? Okay. And voila! That is our very first cut and unboxing video with the Silhouette Cameo 4. Alright guys, what did you think about the Cameo 4? Have you enjoyed setting it up? Have you set it up? Please don't tell me it's still in the box. The most important thing that you can do for yourself in your crafting journey is to get it out of the box and do not be afraid of it, okay? Remember, this machine is under warranty. If something starts going wrong, you can contact Silhouette America. You know, there's tons of resources out there to help you along the way, but you have to get it out of the box. Don't put it in your closet. Don't hide it under the bed. Get it out of the box and put it to good use, okay? All right, enough of that, but I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope that you got yours unboxed, and ideally, I hope that you cut a decal along with us. So if you have any questions or comments, please make sure you leave them below, and I personally come back and check up with you guys and answer anything I can. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we have a lot of great Cameo 4 tutorials coming for you. All right, guys, thanks again. We'll see you later.